Well, the claim that doing the chemical castration drugs or surgery or hormonal intervention, the claim that this prevents suicide or has positive psychological effects down the line is utterly, totally baseless. There are no credible long-term studies that bear that out.
You also stated there'd been no studies. Well, I'm sitting here holding a study from the American Academy of Pediatrics from the University of Pittsburgh about the suicidal disparities between transgender and cisgender adults and children. So I think, before you state things, you may need to know all the facts.
The Genesis
So Bo Mitchell, that idiot, he's also part of SIMR, stupid, idiotic, moronic, and retarded. That was such a deceitful way of basically having a piece of paper in your hand saying, hey, you know what, Matt Walsh, you ought to read this study before you go saying something you don't. I'm going to put up that study. I'm an MD. I read that study, and that study, exactly what Matt Walsh said, doesn't show anything. What that guy's reading the paper saying, oh, that study supposedly says that if once they get the surgical, intervention, surgical mutilation, then there's no suicide. The suicide rate drops. That's what they're trying to imply. That's what these guys are going to try to imply. I'm going to take you to that link, show you that. It's a huge study. If you want to go to it, you can go to it yourself, all right? Look at it yourself and read it. You don't have to be an MD or a scientist to read a study, all right? These are very easy to read, and you can take a look at them at your own leisure. We're going to go to that right now. So this here is a study, American Association of Pediatrics, suicidal disparities between transgender and cisgender adolescents. This was back in 2019. Take a look at it. It was about 2,020 individuals between the ages of 14 to 18. Take a look at it yourself, and you'll come to the same conclusion. That guy holding it up didn't mean anything. Matt Walsh was spot on this thing here. Spot on. Let's get back to the video.
I got to be honest with you. I'm actually pretty shocked that Democrats in a red state are this good.
No, they were great. I'd take them over the National Democrats in a second. No, so Matt Walsh, of course, everything is a victimhood with the right wing. It's like, oh, you guys are making fun of my education. He didn't say it in those words, but basically he was implying that. I don't know if he graduated kindergarten. I don't know. I don't think he went to college. I'm not sure if he finished high school. I don't know what his story is, right? But I don't care about that. And guys, we've talked about this here before. I've hired tons of people without ever asking what college they went to, because I don't give a damn. What I care about is the size of the fight in the dog, okay? If you got passion and you're smart, that's what I care about. So this isn't about education shaming. But dude, you're not a doctor, okay? He's like, I kind of looked at the...
You don't have to be a doctor, you idiot, you simpleton, you moron. You don't have to be a doctor to read a study, all right? You don't have to go to journalism school to be in front of a camera. You don't have to go to journalism school to write a story. You don't have to do any of that. All right? You can look at a study and you can see for yourself. But there are some studies, okay, that are going to be using some obviously nomenclature and words and ways that they, did that. But this study, I'm telling you, you guys go read that study. It is very easy to read and spells it out very conclusively that those children, both male and female, who are going through this transgenderism phase, they commit suicide at a much higher rate than those that are not, in other words, are not transitioning, what they call just cis, remaining in their own gender, in their own selves. And that surgery, there's other studies out there that show that surgery does not help. The numbers are still the same. And he knows it, but he just wants to go ahead and make Matt look bad. And the only person you're making look bad here is yourself, Cenk, because you're showing yourself to be the one that probably, didn't even get through pre-K.
The studies, and I decided that they were chopping people up left and right because I'm so freaking smart, right? No, you're not. You're a moron. And you don't know anything about science. You didn't study any of it. And so you coming in going, oh yeah, but I eyeballed it, man, I eyeballed it, is not really convincing.
Another representative went so far as to accuse Matt Walsh of exploiting this very serious issue for clicks. Let's watch.
What purpose do you conduct your research and use this brain of yours?
Mr. Walsh, you're recognized.
I use it for the purpose of trying to protect children from being castrated and mutilated. That's one of the things I try to do.
You don't use it to, thank you, Mr. Chairman. You don't use it to get clicks on your publication?
Well, are you using it right now to try to get clicks with this interaction?
Oh, and they say that Matt got owned on that? That idiot Democrat council member or congressperson, whatever the hell he is, state senator, state representative. He just, oh, are you doing it to use that brain of yours just to go ahead and get some clicks? What are you using your brain for? I'm using it to protect children. Boom! Mic drop. And then boom, when he says, are you using this to get clicks yourself there? Council member? Oh, and these guys are saying, oh, he got owned, he got destroyed, he got obliterated. It's clown world with these folks. It's clown world. Up means down, right means wrong, left means right. You know, it's just opposite world with these guys. You look at it and you go, really? He got obliterated? He got destroyed with that? What am I in, bizarro world?
Yeah, okay, he's not a talk show host. You are, right? So the thing about entitlement with Republicans is like, whenever there's a Democrat or a neutral party in congressional hearings, the Republicans light into them. Isn't it true that Twitter is shadow banning us? You monsters, we need to be put out front of everybody, right? And then the minute they get pushed back.
I can do that too. And you know, he's supposedly a trained journalist, I think, or whatever. I'm certainly not. Let me see if I could become a trained journalist just like Cenk. Oh, you know what Republicans are? They say,
back from a Democrat, they're like, what is this? Are you trying to get clicks? No, dude, your job is getting clicks.
Yes, okay. Dude.
So is yours.
All right, anyway.
No,
by the way,
you're
notice
right.
he said castration, which is a lie.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the problem with, honestly, discussion about these very real, nuanced, and complex issues, right? You have demagoguing, you have...
They're not nuanced issues. It's protecting children. Oh my God, nuance. You're nuance. You know what nuance is? Nuance is whether or not, you should smoke or not smoke. Nuance is whether you should take a puff or not. Nuance is whether we make marijuana laws or not. Okay? You're talking about mutilation, hormone suppression, infertility, lower bone structure, completely emotional and physical and psychological trauma. And you call that nuance? I want to tear my freaking hair out when I hear these guys do this.
Of extreme, ridiculous, comments that are meant to demonize individuals who are trying to do the right thing and to help people who are struggling with their gender identity. It's really frustrating because, again, we're not talking about some little issue here. We're talking about people's lives. And having someone like Matt Walsh say the things he says in the way he says it doesn't actually lead to solutions or policy that is obviously accommodating to people who need help.
Okay, I'm gonna say one more thing.
Oh, yes, he did. He shut that thing down in Tennessee, honey. He shut it down. That's gonna help a lot of people not make a stupid mistake.
Here, which is, there's an irony you should note. Remember, I used to be a Republican many, many decades ago, but I was. It's not like I don't know. It's not like I'm not open-minded. It's not like, I can't empathize with Republicans, okay? But these guys that lie for a living, like Matt Walsh, and that inflame everything. Oh, they're castrating and mutilating and chopping up babies. Well, you're a goddamn monster, okay? Because that stuff's not true. And you're trying to get lunatics in your audience to commit violence. And you say it over and over and over again. But now here comes the irony. What that does is get me to go, if a Republican is talking, a Republican is lying. I'm not gonna listen to any of the trash that comes out of your trash mouth, okay? So I'm not interested in a freaking conversation with monsters like Matt Walsh. So, hey, find people that aren't lunatics, find people who don't lie every time they talk, then I'm happy to have a conversation.
I guess what we should do is we should pull the mirror away from you, Cenk, right? Is that what we need to do? Pull that big glass mirror away from your big ass body, right? Is that what we should do?
Very happy to have it. I'm so open-minded, I switch parties, okay? So it's not like I can't do that. It's not like I can't say, oh, that's an interesting point, or that's a good point, right? But when you lie 24/7, you've lost all credibility. Which person would talk to a right-wing these days? These guys like Walsh and Candace Owens and Crowder and Alex Jones, all these lunatics, and go, oh, I wonder what they have to say. Oh, that's so interesting. It's not at all interesting.
Finally, we end with something that's unrelated, kind of unrelated. Anyway, he gets asked about his comments on Singapore. Let's watch.
I'll just have to question, some of your public policy, expertise when, I'm reading here, Singapore is able to have nice things in part because they execute drug dealers by hanging and arrest even petty vandals and thieves and beat them with a cane until they bleed. We don't have nice things here because we aren't willing to do what is required to maintain them. So, with statements like that, I kind of have to question your public policy beliefs.
Man, they really came prepared. I didn't even know he said that about Singapore.
Hey, National Democrats, go down to Tennessee, check out the Tennessee Democrats, because apparently they're willing to kick some ass and take some names. You guys could use a lesson or two. Thanks for watching the Young Turks.
So they bring this policy statement in that in Singapore, they kill drug dealers, which, hey, I agree with that policy. Why not? Somebody is killing, and somebody has been killing hundreds and thousands and millions of people. If you aggregate it across with the war on drugs, someone's peddling in drugs, they're a drug dealer. Have a policy that, guess what? Not just for an ounce or so or this or that, but if you're moving kilos and bricks and you get caught in whatever, absolutely death penalty for you. And you know what? If they're caning and they do that in Singapore, what are you going to do? You're going to be upset because some other country is smacking somebody with a piece of wood for a little bit? Hey, if it stops the recidivism rate, so what? They're not going to. But you know what? Matt was right. He said, we're not willing to do the things that we need to do to stop crime. We do the things that will do what? And you guys at the Young Turks, the Young Jerks, you would rather see criminals let go easy. You would rather let criminals get no bail, right? You rape somebody, no bail. You burglarize somebody, no bail. You murder somebody, no bail. I mean, right? I mean, is that what you're talking about? So this guy, this idiot, and for you to tell the Democrats, yeah, I want all you National Democrats, go down to Tennessee so you can become part of the acronym SIMR, SIMR, so you all can become more stupid, more idiotic, more moronic, and more retarded. Please, I implore you, go down to Tennessee and listen to how these stupid, idiotic, moronic, retarded Democrats are over there. Abso-freaking-lutely. Anyways, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I love doing this reaction to these guys here, folks. I loved it. And I dare these guys, I dare you at the Young Turks to come on and give your rebuttal to my video. You won't, because you know everything that I said about it was absolutely 100% true. And I found the faults and the spin and some of the obfuscation and even some of the lies that you guys were throwing in, especially about that study. Come on, I dare you. I double dare you. I triple dare you. I quadruple dare you to put up a reaction video to this one here. You won't do it because you're too scared. That's why you're also called the yellow turkeys. Folks, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your guest host. My name is Dr. Nasir. And I'll leave you with my final thought, which is when you're right, you're right. And boy, am I always right. And when you're left like these progressives, you're so wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.